Next, we're going to unpack the different sides of validation, the good side and the dark side. Firstly, the good side. Let's be clear, validation is not a bad thing, okay? We all need it, but in healthy doses, because it helps us to grow, it helps us to learn, it helps us to connect. Okay, think about it. Probably people that have difficult bosses at work, and you know that this boss does not compliment anything that you do, and just all of a sudden one day your boss just gives you credit for something that you did. You know that can actually lift your spirit. Okay, or maybe your partner, you know, your spouse, your husband or your wife tells you, I am so proud of you, or even your parents says, I am so proud of you. You know that can actually fuel your spirit to want to do more. Okay, external validation, it's a motivator. Okay, it helps us to build confidence, especially if you're starting something new. Everybody needs external validation when you're starting something new. I remember my friend Rose, what she used to do when I post a video on Instagram or on my TikTok, she comes to my DM on WhatsApp and she'll be like, girl, that your video, I love that your video, I love what you were wearing, I love how you did this, how you did that. You know, that actually helps me feel better. It helps me feel good, seriously. And sometimes she posts it on her WhatsApp status, and sometimes she posts it on her Instagram story. And when I go there and see it, it actually pushed me to want to do more. It pushed me to want to do better. That is what external validation does to us. But the real game changer is your internal validation. You know that moment when you go to the mirror, when you look at the mirror, and when you tell yourself, girl, precious, I am so proud of you. You did so good today. I love what you did today. Especially when you are celebrating something new, something that nobody has seen. Do you know that is your power? That is very, very powerful. You validating yourself internally is your power. Now, this is where it gets tricky, the dark side of validation. When external validation becomes your main fuel, you start to depend on it. You become addicted to the praise, you become addicted to the applause, you become addicted to the approval. You start to ask yourself questions like, will they like it? What would they think? What would they say I should do? Do you get? And when you don't get those response, or when you don't get those good response from these people, you feel so empty. You feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you're not even doing anything. Okay, take for example, I don't know, have you ever been in a situation? I have, but have you ever been in a situation whereby there is something that you actually want to do, or an idea that comes to your head, and there is this person that you always seek validation from, and then you go to the person and you tell the person, oh, this is what I want to do, this is what I have in my head, what do you think about it? And the person talks down about that thing and tells you not to do it, or tells you not to venture into it. And fast forward to moments later, you find out that that person is doing exactly that thing that you wanted to do. Now, this is where external validation is dangerous. Sometimes the people you're seeking the validation from, you don't even know if they actually want good for you or if they want bad for you, because we are humans, okay? Um, I'm going to give you guys a more simple example of it. So I have a small friend. I post her every time on my WhatsApp. She's actually my friend's daughter. Her name is Frida. So she's actually in her kindergarten. Um, she learned how to write A, B, C, and all that. So whenever she comes to visit me, she would tell me, Auntie P, she calls me Auntie P. She'll say, Auntie P, I want to write, I want to write. She says write. Then I'll give her a pen and paper and she'll start writing. Whenever if she writes A, or probably she writes a letter or a number that I've not seen her write before, I'll be like, wow, Mama, this is so good. This is so nice. Then she goes on to writing another one. I'll be like, oh, Mama, this is so good. This is so nice. And moreover, I might actually be on my laptop doing something. And me giving her that thing to write is for her to not distract me from what I am doing. But still, whenever she writes letter A, she comes to me and say, Auntie PC, I'm like, oh, Mama, you did good. You did nice. Now, that is an external validation coming from me to her. So she keeps coming back, she keeps coming back, she keeps coming back. It means she's still coming back to seek that external validation from me. It's not like she's not writing it correctly. She's writing it correctly. She knows she's writing it correctly, but she wants to have that feel of approval from me that she's actually doing something right. Now, don't forget that I'm actually busy with work or busy with my laptop or something. And then I will get to a point where I'll now tell her, probably she's now like really, really distracting me. And at the point I will now tell her, okay, mama, just keep writing, okay? You don't have to show me, just keep writing. And she'll just slack and she'll feel bad or she'll feel sad. She's just a child. The next thing she'll just drop the paper, or probably after writing one or two, and she sees that she's not actually getting that validation from me. She'll just drop the paper, probably go and watch TV with her brother or go and play with her brother or something. Now, this is where external validation is dangerous when it becomes your main source of fueling your spirit. So when it stops coming, you just get tired of doing that thing, or you might even stop doing it entirely. And it's very, very dangerous. What if that thing you're doing is actually good? What if that thing you're doing is actually right? But because you cannot internally validate yourself, she's a child. Of course, children don't really know how to do those internal validation stuff because they are still children. Okay? So if you don't know how to do that internal validation part, you might just keep depending on the external validation. And when it stops coming, you just feel so empty. You just feel like you're not doing anything right. There's also this instance where I was discussing with my friend Kingsley. It was actually something very personal to him, and I cannot disclose it here, of course. So when he asked me what I think, I just gave him a plain answer. I told him that if I am going to give you an answer, I'm going to give you an answer based off of what I think, based off of what I feel. Okay, because I am not in that exact position as you are. Okay, I am not in that situation that you are, so I might not even be feeling exactly how you are feeling. So I am just going to give you an answer based off of how I feel, and then it's now left for you to evaluate what I have said, cross check out some things that you know that does not correspond with your current situation, and take it off. He's just going to um add up one or two things that I have said about it to his current situation and know what to do. That is you having like, should I say, having like 80% of your internal validation and 20% of external validation. I think that is a very, very healthy percentage of having validations in our lives.